Hey everybody, happy Friday. MortgageSeth here. Just wanted to give you a quick update with what's been going on in the market lately. I know there's a lot of confusion. You hear that the Fed has lowered rates. You hear that the economy is doing great. The stock market is roaring up. We have these trade talks that are going on, tariffs, what's really happening. So here to just straighten things out for you a little bit and let you know what's going on with mortgage rates, since that's my focus. Wanted to tell you how all these other items are affecting the mortgage markets. And when you hear that the Fed has lowered rates, that really means that there's a lowering in the short-term interest rate on the Fed funds rate, and that's the day-to-day borrowing that banks do. Really doesn't have a direct impact on the mortgage markets, but what you'll see is that as the news of those rate changes are coming and the Feds lower the short-term rate, the Fed funds rate, and that does have an impact on the stock market, which has an impact on bonds and the mortgage market. So what we're really talking about is what's going on with the bond market and how that affects the mortgage rate. So what I wanted to show you is just a quick chart of what's been happening over the last couple of weeks and months in the mortgage market. And I have this chart here. It's really a chart of what's going on with the 10-year Treasury, but you can look back into July. We started off the summer with some rates up in the higher range, and then as they dropped through August, a pretty dramatic drop in September, August and September, then we started to see rates rise back up again. They didn't get quite as high as they were back in July before the summertime, but they came back down through October, and then October they rose again. This is where the Fed had lowered the Fed funds rate. We did see a little bit of a drop, not as far as down as they were prior, but since then we've really seen rates come up. And what I always tell my clients and my real estate partners is that when you see the interest rates changing and you see the Fed lowering rates, then just wait a little bit and see what happens in the market. I mean, all these talks about trade tariffs and the things that are going on, that really has a much bigger impact. And we can see when the stock market's going up, then that's really having an impact on what's going on with mortgage rates. More money's coming out of bonds, the mortgage rates are going up, and that's what you're really seeing. The other thing to keep in mind is that every time you hear a news report about what's going on with mortgage rates, they're typically relying on data from a week or two prior. So I know this week there was some news that rates had hit another low. That was really news from a couple weeks ago, and it doesn't help us out in the mortgage market. We're battling this different news reporting that's going on all the time. So make sure you talk to a local professional, somebody that can help you figure out what's really happening in the mortgage world, tell you the right time to lock. I think somebody that I was reading earlier today, they said that trying to hit the exact low for your mortgage rate if you're waiting is kind of like hitting the lottery. So all these ups and downs, these little changes, it's really tough to time things exactly right. Don't focus on just the rate. It is an important part of the whole transaction and the whole market and what you're doing when you're buying a house or refinancing. But think about the longer term goals. Think about what's going on with you and your personal household. Is it more important to get into that house right now? If you're renting, then the answer is always yes. But take a look at the bigger picture. Do you have other debts that you need to consolidate? Are your kids moving out of the house soon? You can be an empty nester. Are you having kids? Are you thinking about maybe upsizing in the next couple of years? So talk to the mortgage advisor that you trust, somebody in your local market that knows what's really happening, and make sure that you discuss the full picture so that you can plan for that next 3, 5, 10 years or longer and come up with a strategy for how to manage the overall debt that you have. The mortgage is a big part of that, and it can be used as a tool to leverage the equity in your home and what you're trying to do to achieve those longer term goals. So that's enough business talk for now. I wanted to also let you know that you can follow me on all these different social medias. You can find me at MortgageSeth.com. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even on TikTok, so you can check me out there. And I'm also on Snap, so I'll add that on here as well. You can check me out on Snap. Everywhere it's MortgageSeth. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Help me get up to 100 subscribers. That's definitely my goal for the end of the year. And let me know if you have any questions. You can post them in the comments below, or you can send me a direct message. You can ask me anything, whether it's washer dryer repair, refrigerator repair, or something about the mortgage market. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks so much and have a great weekend. Happy Veterans Day.